host of the Gridiron.
I just can't stand it. And this is one of the reasons, one of the big reasons why are the Eagles so good and the Giants suck. There's obviously multiple ones, but this is one of them right here. And void, right? And this is something I would really, the thing I don't like is that, the NFL wants parity in the league, right? And, one of the things, and that's another one of the things is all these people, they're tripping out, we're paying Daniel Jones $40 million this year, and we owe him this much money, dead cap money next year, and all that stuff. And some people are just tripping on that and everything, But what Joe Schoen is doing, right? He's clearing the books after the 4-year, 4-year contract. Daniel Jones, paid him all his money in 2 years. So in the third year, he can get out. So next year, we only owe him $22 million, dead cap money. And after 3 years, we're clearing the books, right? And Daniel Jones is no mas. He's no, right? We don't owe him any money. He's running another team, whatever, right? He's no mas. And I said, the one thing I wish they could do away with, and I said, maybe, that's some type of rule. Maybe you can do it with one player, like maybe a quarterback or something like that, because, within the next, 10 years, whatever, 15 at the most, you're going to have the first $100 million a year player, right? So the first $100 million a year player in the NFL is walking the earth right now. I don't know how old they are. They could be 7. Whoever it is, I don't know. Right? In 15 years from now, that 7-year-old's coming out of college. He's 22, or what? After his rookie day, he's making $100 million a year. So it's just a matter of time. So I could see when if you wanted to do something like that, maybe with the void contracts. Maybe if you wanted to could do it with one player or something like that. But what I don't like is what the Eagles do, right? They have like basically half their offense, and I didn't even bother looking at the defense. Actually, I think Darius Slay, I think, is on it too. What the Eagles do, okay, is they and I just looked at some guys, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Lane Johnson, the right tackle, the future Hall of Fame right tackle, Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, like half of their offense as the void years. They're paying. They don't even have a guy on their roster this year who has a cap hit of $16 million. Everybody on their roster is making less. Let's see here. Now, let's see. All right, so their top guy is Lane Johnson. He's making $15.8 million. Then they got Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is making $51 million a year. $51 million a year he's making. His cap hit this year is 13.5. Where's the other $38 million at? Down the road. You realize that Jalen Hurts, after his contract is up, I'm not exactly sure how it's going to work and all this stuff and everything. But the Eagles in 2029, after his contract is up, he has a cap hit of $97.5 million. He has a cap hit of almost $100 million. Now, I'm sure, something will happen, and Howie Roseman, their GM, will come up with some other way to finagle the numbers and stuff like that and push more money down the road or do something or whatever. But Jalen, his cap hit is $97.5 million, and he's not even on the team. His contract's up. And in 2030, his cap hit is 29.8. He's not on the team. 2031, 19.8, and then 2032 is 9.9. So he has 4 void years on the end of his contract. So, he's owed $51 million a year. Next year he's only making 20. His cap hit is only 21 million. He's going to be paid $51 million a year. But next year he's only making 21. Where's the other 30 million at? Down the road. In 2026, Jalen Hurts, who's getting paid annually $51 million a year, his cap hit's only 31 million. Where's the other 20 million? Pushed down the road. The following year, his last year of his contract, he's making $51 million a year, and still, after 4 seasons, has not even come close to getting paid $51 million a year of his cap hit being $51 million. His final season of his contract, he's getting paid $41 million. Where's the other $10 million? Pushed down the road. They have 4 void years on the end of his contract. Oh, I'm sorry. His last year's in 2028. He's getting paid $47 million. That's his final year of his contract. My bad. Looks like. I mean, so he got paid for 5 years, and not one of those years did he actually get paid his $51 million. All the money's pushed down. So it's not. I said Lane Johnson. I even think Darius Slay too, but Lane Johnson. Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, and Devontae Smith. At least 5 guys in their offense have 4 void years on the end of the contract. See, the thing is with the Giants, like if you look at the Giants, right? I'm going to take the Giants. I'm going to take Andrew Thomas, okay? Because he's on the offense. He's the big kahuna, right? Now that Daniel Jones is gone, we got Andrew Thomas, okay? Let me just backtrack here real fast, okay? So I'm going to go to Lane Johnson, future Hall of Famer. Guy is unbelievable. Okay, Lane Johnson. He's getting up there in age. But once again, he has 4 void years on his contract. 4. Looks like he's owed like 35, 27, almost $40 million, maybe after his contract is up. So after his contract's up, he has 4 void years where he has like cap hits. 4 after his contract's up. Right? All they're doing is pushing money down the end of the road, right? And everybody's like, oh my God, the Eagles are so good. Oh my God. Well, this is what they're doing. This is why they have such a good team. One of the reasons. They have other reasons, of course. I said another one of them, they're very lucky because they don't get injured. They're lucky. Other teams get decimated. The Eagles don't. The Eagles are lucky. But one of the other reasons why is like, how do they have all these good players? Well, this is why. Let's look at that's Lane Johnson, their right tackle, their best offensive lineman. After his contract's up, he has 4 void years on the end of where they owe him money. And as I said, Howie Roseman, he'll start finagling the money, I'm sure, or something like that, and whatever. I don't know. But as of right now, 4. So after his contract is done, Lane Johnson, their future Hall of Fame right tackle, he's still on the books as of right now for like 4 more years after his contract's up. Joe Schoen doesn't do that. Okay. Joe Schoen with Andrew Thomas, our best offensive player right now, if the guy can ever stay healthy. Okay. His contract runs up to let's say 5 years, $117 million. Okay. His final year of his contract is 2029. His cap hit is $22.9 million. Right? He's an unrestricted free agent when he's after the 2029 season. Let me read this here. Signed a 5-year, $117 million contract with the Giants. In 2025, Thomas will earn a base salary of $16.4 and a workout bonus of $500,000 while carrying a cap hit of $21 million and a dead cap value of $44 million. Right? So that's 2025. So 2025, 26, 27, 28, and 29. It's 5 years. He signed a 5-year contract, $117 million. And he earns every penny of it. And once again, I just wish the guy could stay healthy. But after 2029, after Andrew Thomas's, after his 5-year contract is up, he's off the books. There's no void years. There's none of this. There's none of that. His contract is up. All the money we owe him is gone. Whether Andrew's here still or not, I hope he is. I hope, once again, the guy can't stay healthy the past 2 years. Let's hope he can. So if for him to play, he's got to play another 4 or 5 years, for his contract to be up. But once his contract is up, whether he's here or not, all that money, it's gone. It's all done. It's all said for. There's no 4 void years. We'll just tag. There's none of that. Same thing with Saquon Barkley here, right? Saquon Barkley. Now what a lot of teams do, right, is what are we at here? Where is Saquon? He's pretty far. Once again, he's getting $3.8 million. Or is what is it? His cap hit is $3.8 million. He signed a contract for about $12.5 million a year. I do think that there were some bonuses or that he might be able to get. I'm not sure, but I thought there was. But he's making each year $12.5 million. Now, of course, for him, good for him, is that this season, he stayed healthy, right? So it wasn't like his base salary was whatever. Say his base salary was $17 million, right? But it's not all guaranteed. If you play every game, then you get the $17 million. You get $1 million a game, right? So basically his salary is $12.5 million. He played in every game. So he gets all of his money. We got Craig. Their O-line is unbelievable, and they don't get hurt. Nope. Don't get hurt. Nope. They stayed. Devontae Smith. That's another thing I can't stand about the Eagles. Yeah, and they traded with the Cowboys to do that too. I mean. Whew. Well, as I said, they got Devontae Smith and they got A.J. Brown, right? They have a good second there. Oh, yeah. Oh, the defensive line is very good. Their 2 top draft picks wind up being very, very good. But once again, their 2 top draft picks are in the secondary. If you look at the Giants secondary, what happened? Banks, how many games did he miss with a rib, right? Cordell Flott, he missed time. Newman, right? His season was over, right? Andrew Phillips, how many games did he miss? I mean, we got all these guys just missing games. For some reason, we can't even get, guys to go on the field and play a whole game without getting decimated by injuries. But somehow the Eagles can just run all their guys on the field. And at the end of the game, everybody's happy. They're all singing songs, singing Kumbaya, dancing and roasting marshmallows, and everybody's, I don't know. I don't know. How can we play 60 minutes and we lose 97% of our guys from injuries, and they play 60 minutes and everybody's fine? Nobody even has jock itch after the game's over. I mean, how can you be that lucky? And I said this a little while ago. I mean, one of the reasons why the Detroit Lions lost was because their defense was just totally freaking decimated by injuries. Right? The Eagles are lucky, right? But if you look at Saquon Barkley here, right, he's being paid $12.5 million a year on average. This year, his cap hit was 3.8. He's got a 3-year contract, right? His cap hit in 2025 next year is 6.5, and then in 2026 it's 9.8. Well, if he's getting paid $12.5 million a year, and he got paid 3.8, 6.5, and 9.8. What? Where's all that other money gone? Well, it's void years. 4 more void years on the end of the contract, all dumped, right? End of the contract. So he's owed like around $37.5 million or so, whatever it is, and in his first 3 years, he's going to get paid about, say, $20 million. So $17.5 million of it is like pushed down the road after his contract's over, right? I mean, once again, there's a lot of reasons why the Eagles. I mean, they did very good drafting. they were beefing up their defensive front when they had other guys, and they drafted some Carter's a beast and all of that. The two top draft picks are really good. Then they still had Slay. They even had Bradbury, but he got injured. But they said they got McMahon. And there's another thing. It just blows my mind. Just blow. We get Saquon Barkley, and half the time he gets injured, right? They get Saquon Barkley. They hand him the ball 37,000 times in a season, and he doesn't even have a cold. Has nothing. Absolutely nothing at all. He's good to go. He ran the ball 47,000 times this year. No injuries, nothing. The other thing that pissed me off, they took Mekhi Becton from the Jets. That's all I remember, Mekhi Becton. I don't remember nothing about him. The one thing I remember, he get injured. Because they take Mekhi Becton, they move him into guard, and one of the things they move them into guard, right? But one of the things also, they have one of the best offensive line coaches in all of football. Move him into guard, and he's doing really good, like what they should do with Evan Neal, right? But with Mekhi Becton, I think with the Jets, that's all he does is get injured. He's like 37 feet tall, 45 feet wide, right? He's bigger than my house that I'm living in, and he gets injured. That's all I know about him. He goes to the Eagles. I think he missed one game. So between Saquon Barkley and Mekhi Becton, out of the 34 games, actually 34, he played two for the out of the 38 games, right? Saquon 19 games, I guess. Mekhi Becton 19 games. I think out of those 38 games, they missed one between the two of them. You know how unbelievably lucky they are. It just I just So it's just unbelievable. I said there's a lot of reasons, obviously, why, but one of them, as I said, something I would like to see them really do away with would be the void years on the end of the contracts. When the contract's up, right? As I said, unless you want to do it, have some rule where maybe you can put one guy in a void year, like maybe a quarterback or something like that, so you can afford to keep your quarterback. But if you're bringing in all these stars, you got to be able to pay them. So when that contract is up, that last year is up, all the money better be shit. There's no pushing the money down the road. There's none of that. I can't stand it. Absolutely can't stand it. See, Joe Schoen doesn't, obviously Joe Schoen don't get credit for nothing. Anything good, shall I say? But one thing he does, though, is he's not pushing money down the road, right? When the contracts are up, the people might be gone, but so is the money. We don't owe people money 4 or 5 years down the road, right? Like Howie Roseman does. Philly 416 Eda. What is that? Philly 416. No, is that? Oh, I got you. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, the Eagles are just lucky. That's all they are. If they had the 10 different offensive lines that the Giants had, they're not going to the Super Bowl, right? If they were decimated and they're maybe in their secondary like the Giants were for a while, they'd have a hard time going. The injury. Giants had 4 different quarterbacks in it. Now they had 2 because Hurts missed a couple games, but they didn't have 4 quarterbacks. Like the Giants did, So the Eagles are very, very lucky. They got a good team. But I said once again, I don't like it where you can just push all money down the road. I don't like that at all. Don't like that at all.